Hey Bergs, how are you? This is Mary Ellen coming to you from Moonrise Cottage, Soul Tarot. Thanks for stopping by my channel. I have set off on my great journey, as many of you know, and I want to thank you all for your love and your support. Donations are coming in. I am continuing to accept donations to help me pay for the cost of travel and things like that while I travel around the world, hopefully for the next year. Spreading seeds of energy, flower seeds, my guides call it, and bringing the shamanic healing retreats and workshops to you because many of you are not able to travel to where I am or where I was in Vermont. So below the video there is a link for donations. If you feel so inspired to make a donation, anything that you donate will be credited towards any one of the healing services that I offer, including tarot readings. And feel free to use that as a gift. I know the holidays are coming, so think widely, as my guides always say. So Virgo, let's jump in. We're going to take a look at your journey, your life, your love, your soul journey, your destiny, and we're going to take a look at your love partner, for those of you that have, and at the end we're going to pull in a rune or two, my guides are saying. Okay. So Virgo, we've been on a path, you all know, if you've been following along, my guides talk about the way Virgo takes up the energy, particularly in these times with Uranus in Taurus. You know, we work as a cohort and we make up strings. My guides are talking about music today. So, you know, like strings on an instrument, like the notes in a symphony. We work together with the energy. So if you have the time, you have the inclination, always important to take a look at all the earth sign readings, okay? So we see Virgo, the king of skill, that's the king of wands. So there's something that you're very, very passionate about, and it sets you off on a new journey because what he's doing, his shield is hung on the wall, and his battles are over in some regard. He's come into some form of abundance, and he's come across the water. We see in the background there's a lot of light. And what this person does now, in a sense, is humble themselves. And Virgo, we know most of us are pretty humble. And making shoes for a new journey. Because he's done with his battles and he knows there's something new is coming forward. So he's preparing for a great journey. That's kind of fun. I'm a Virgo, if you don't know. It's fun for me to see that. A little confirmation from the universe. And look, the shaper of growth. It's the sacred mother who brings souls across their journey and imbues them and provides them with the gifts and the abundance that they need in order to grow into their destiny. This is the Empress card. So we have the King of Wands and the Empress. I like it. So I'm going to pull something from the Mystical Shaman Oracle. And we'll just see what the Oracle says about this journey that you're going on, Bergs. And we'll jump in a little deeper, okay? Spirit, please give us a message from the Mystical Shaman Oracle for Virgo about their journey. Yeah. Love this. Look. The child, the sacred child. So with the sacred mother here in this card, the Empress, bringing someone across into a new journey, there's a form of innocence that's going on in what you're engaged in. This card in the Mystical Shaman Oracle has to do with magic. It's about coming into a place within yourself of innocence in terms of vision and trust in the universe, and also giving your my guys are talking about intentions, I think, because of these two cards. So, childlike trust and knowing and belief in literal magic. The way the eyes of a child looks out into its future and into the universe. So, I like that. Something really beautiful happening, Verb. Make sure to leave me some messages and let me know what's going on, okay? All right, my guys are telling me to go over here. We're going to pick from the Journey of Love, okay? We're going to see if I can shuffle the deck, what's going on in your love life? What's going on in your heart? My guides are talking about. Okay, let's see. Virgo, can you give us a message from the Journey of Love Oracle, please, for Virgo for this week of October 21st to the 28th? Ooh, okay, something fell right out. Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Spirit. Look, dream a little. I love that. So looking into the spiral of destiny to bring your dreams forward, perfectly appropriate with the two cards that are there. So I like that. Let's take a little jump into the beautiful Celtic Wisdom Tarot and see what we've got for you, Virgs. And then we're going to take a line or two, my guides are saying, for your partner. I'll see what's going on with your love aspect. So my guides are chattering in the background. They're talking about the importance of knowing yourself and knowing what your journey is about so that you can be self-supportive. There, thank you, Spirit. Just took the words right out of my mouth. Of your own journey, which is how you are then enable yourself to be present in any kind of love bond. So there we go, speaking about journeys. Third confirmation, my guides are saying, that is the warrior of skill, the Knight of Wands. So we have the King of Wands making shoes for a new journey. This is the theme, if you don't know, this is your energy, the Empress energy, being able to create whatever it is you desire. And you have an enormous amount of passion about whatever it is you're working on because you are going somewhere, either internally or externally. So the Knight of Wands, known to be impetuous, racing in, sometimes without an enormous amount of forethought. Same with a friend today in New Mexico, and we were laughing about the journey that I'm on because, just like this, I got the notion, it actually came on over a couple of months, which is what this person does in this deck. They just wait for the impulse. And they just stand kind of in the twilight, in the mystery zone. But when the impulse strikes them, they get on that horse and they ride. And they ride straight into it. And in a way, that's what I've just done. And we were having a good laugh about, about what it is to be in this energy and to leap into a journey, trusting and knowing that everything's going to be okay, and then you, like the Fool card, you jump off the cliff and suddenly you have a moment of terror and you think, what the hell am I doing? How is this going to work? But look, it's going to be okay. That's the Queen of Pentacles. So we have King of Wands, the Empress, the Knight of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles. And in this deck, her job is to sit in, okay, my guides are saying the word luminous. So in the light, they're talking about light language. Thank you, Spirit. So inside the luminous aspects of your being, and she's connected in this reading directly with the Empress, the ultimate manifester. And she's looking into your journey, and she's weaving together, literally, the strings of your destiny. Love it. Okay, so let's see what else is going on here. Yeah, look, and there's the Queen of Cups. So, Virg, you're using all your innate talent that was brought through with you when you came into this world, and you're reaching a point, and I think it is because of the movement of the planet. So always check the astrology. You know, we're in intense times, and we are here to fulfill our purpose, each and every one of us. It's why we came, I think, anyone who's here in this moment. So the beautiful Queen of Cups, sitting inside the triple spiral of her destiny. Birth, life, death, decay, rebirth. And she's sitting fully with her passion, not shrinking back from the fire. It's interesting how this is transitioning through the reading. So there's something in your life that you are feeling extraordinarily passionate about, and it is driving you forward into decision-making about manifesting your destiny in these ways, by taking a leap, by doing something perhaps tempestuous, my guides are saying. So there is the beautiful Six of Swords in this deck. The Six is our foundation cards. It's about having reached a certain point of mastery, coming through a rite of passage. And when you come through the rite of passage, you move on in whatever way you've built the foundation for. So we see that you're coming through this rite of passage. The spirit realm is there in the top left of the card watching your progress. And you're able to join the tribe, in a sense, as a sacred warrior. This is the Six of Swords. So you are literally moving into, the energy is moving. This is the bridge card. The energy is moving, and you are the one moving it. And you're traveling to a new destination. You're moving away from something, but my guides are saying, more so than away from something, you're moving toward your destiny, and you are the one who's driving it because you know something. That's what my guides want to talk to you about. And I think what you know is the factors of your own life as it relates to the cosmology of the moment. Look, okay, beautiful. The balancer of harmony. So clearly, this next row of cards, if you're new, it's about your soul cycle, what's going on for you in a spiritual destiny kind of way. So you're attempting to bring to this place where we live, this earth, some balance, some justice. And you're willing to go right through a death process of your own, death and rebirth. This is the liberator of devotion. So while you're on this incredible journey, whatever it is that you're doing, I mean, I know what I'm doing. I'm leaping out, and it's taking in a certain amount of courage, and it's terrifying in a certain way. But I cannot resist the urge, and I think that's what's going on here because it's literal destiny. So your devotion is being liberated. They're going through a death and rebirth process, and while that's happening, the purpose is to bring balance and to bring justice, not just to your own life, but Virgo, because we're all about service. I think it has to do with all of humanity. And so, and the last card on the soul level of this reading is balancing again, a notion of balancing, a 2, dialogue of skill, 2 of Wands. It's that moment where you stand looking over the port. You, with your hand on the wand, you've made a decision, and you are going forward as the first step forward into something. And when you take that step, it creates a reintegration of self. So in this deck, it's about reintegrating something after a long period of trial and error. It's about Merlin, who's there dressed in blue. He's transforming. His good friend comes to him and says, let's talk about your life. It's time for you to remember yourself. So there's something deeply spiritual about whatever this journey's all about for you, Virgo. I almost called you Capricorn. So if you have time, you have the inclination, go and watch the Capricorn reading. Where did I leave it? Here it is. So the outcome card, another new foundation. So that is 6 of Wands. It's the victory card, right? Feeling victorious in some way, coming into your moment of victory, coming into your moment of self-fulfillment, I believe. And it's very interesting to see how it's reflective of the Queen of Wands. So you are working with your passion very definitely. And Virgo, this is not a guessing game. There is something that you are very intentionally doing, and it has brought you through a rite of passage. Actually, we see 2 rites of passage on the table. So you're riding into victory, whatever that is, and you are creating something. You're literally working with the energy of the universe because you've come to this new foundation and mastery in some regard, whatever your project is. You're working directly with the mystery of the universe. We can't see what you're creating, but we know that you are because we see the fire of creation there. And there's, a lot of openness. Look at that. The person, has their blacksmith apron on, but open from the will center all the way up and looking straight into the mystery, creating something that's meant to come forward. It's giving me a chill because of my own little journey, and I love it. And I love to know that all my Virgo brothers and sisters are working on the same goal. So I can move that over a little bit. Okay, so that's fabulous. Let's get something from the journey of love. Let's look into your sweet one. Those of you who are engaged in some kind of love relationship. Not everybody will be. It's not always the way it is for everybody, as we all know. So it's why I do the readings the way I do. I want you to understand yourself. I want you to understand your own journey. And interestingly enough, we don't see any cards here about lovers or any of that. It's all about you and coming into your destiny. And when you come into your destiny, that's, if you're single and you're looking for love, that's how you stand in a stable place and in your strength and your vulnerability. And from there, you look outward into your life, from your own circle. And then you find someone who you are able to connect with. You got to be standing in your own self first. So Virgo, my guys are saying, take that as a notion if you're single and you're looking. So your partner engaged in some kind of cosmic transformation. Look at the beauty. Look at the colors. A lot of heat, a lot of light. So this person is transforming in a way that is significant. And I'm going to pull something from the Mystical Shaman Oracle for them as well. And we'll see what we get. Okay, Spirit, can you tell us something about this week of October 21st through to the Scorpio new moon, by the way, if I forgot to say that. And, a new inception point, and perhaps that's part of why we see the cards the way they are. It's a moment when you can take up your destiny. Well, all the things that people say, write it down. Ask, manifest, etc. It's part of why I'm asking for donations, because I do need some help. Right? And if I can get some help from you folks and serve you at the same time by offering to put your donation towards a reading or distance healing or a workshop or whatever, one of my retreats, that makes me very happy. So let's see. What have we got? Look. Water. So clearly, those of you who are engaged in a relationship are engaged with someone, potentially who's a water sign, who has a lot of the aspects of the water sign folks within them. Let me get this here. My little makeshift studio. All right, come on, Spirit. How do we want to do that? All right, I'm going to put it behind here. So I like that. And if it's not somebody who's a water sign, the situation is very fluid. There's a lot of love. There's a lot of flow between the two of you, and their watery aspects, part of what's causing them to, my guys just said to recreate themselves, and to be able to align themselves. All right, my guide told me to stop. I want to show you, but to be able to recreate themselves into the form that they are meant to be in, while they are aligning with you, because you're really essentially doing exactly the same thing. So I'm just going to put the cards down. My guides told me stop, and I want to show you what's there. Look. So the Emperor. All right, this goes first, I think. Thank you, Spirit. Somebody in your life, their world is changing. Maybe because of you, maybe because of the cosmic butterfly, whatever it is they're doing in their life, it's causing a transformation. Next card, the Emperor. All right. So somebody profoundly stable, coming into some form of stability because their world is changing. It's bringing them into their power. And what my guides are saying, by virtue of these cards, they're flowing into their new world and flowing into their power because they are changing themselves utterly through this transformation. So here we have the Empress. So we have the Emperor and the Empress. So some of you are involved with someone that's really a sacred mate on some level, and you bring a lot of power and a lot of stability to each other. All the manifestations of male and female energy, it's really beautiful. Look, the High Priestess is there. So this person also working in a similar fashion. So some of you clearly are connected with somebody who's in their own way, working very deeply with their own energy, looking into the secrets of the universe, asking for balance, asking to stand in front of the High Priestess, to glean whatever is to be known from that place, my guides are saying. So we see the new moon at her feet and the full moon in her crown. So this person is clearly working with the moon energy and the sacred energy of the Empress, aligned with the High Priestess, a very powerful feminine energy, balanced by the sacred male. And look, the Hierophant, okay? So the High Priest and the High Priestess, the Emperor and the Empress, there's something, I think this person is really wanting to use the deepest aspects of their transformation to flow into the power that they know is available inside themselves, but also within the relationship. And there's the next card. Look at that. Three of Pentacles, building the temple, shining a light on the plans. How do we build this? How do we go forward? What advice do I need? What help can you give me? So when we see it aligned with these cards, this person definitely diving deep into the spiritual realm in their own life in order to bring forward their destiny when it comes to this relationship, because there's a feeling that it is destiny. So Spirit, can you give us one or two more notions? What is it that Virgo will be helped by knowing when it comes to this relationship? Can you give us an idea, please? What does Virgo need to know about this person that they may be engaged with? And as all readers say, gang, it could be a job. It could be within your family. It could be any situation that, okay, there's the card. Hang on. Look. Woo, 2 of them. 3. All right. So, all right. Look. I'm just going to do it this way. King and Queen of Pentacles. Whoever this person is, they are intensely bonded to you. And they see all these aspects. They look into you this way, and it's causing a massive transformation for them. And there is the beautiful Knight of Cups, right? Coming in your direction, wanting to offer you love while they transform. As a result, perhaps, of the transformation, while they flow into themselves. So you're both going through a lot of shift and change and transformation. It's beautiful, really, isn't it? Let's pick from the bag of runes. Get something from the oracle. It's really nice when partnerships can transform in tandem, and that's what's happening. There's this person working very hard to flow into their power as a result of this transformation. You are doing the same thing in your very Virgo way. And you are causing each other to transform. I mean, that's what it's about, really, in a sense. But there's a lot of power. There's a lot of, in a sense, perfectly mated in a certain way. Indications of sacred knowledge, indications of marriage. That's what the Hierophant is all about often. But going, the High Priest and the High Priestess, the Emperor and the Empress, the King and Queen of Pentacles. Wow. Not much I need to even say about that, right? Divine mates on some level, absolutely. Quantum partners, twin flames, soulmate, all that kind of stuff, okay? So you're transforming yourselves and you're transforming each other. It does feel like magic, and you're giving yourself permission, Virgo, to dream a little and maybe jump off the cliff, okay? Be the Knight of Wands. Go straight into your passion, because whatever it is you're creating, it's bringing this kind of reflection to you, my guides are saying. So let's see what we've got. Interesting. I like it. Okay, so that's the rune for standstill, which is fascinating. It's about being in a place where you're just standing, sort of suspended in the moment. So I'm going to put this here with the king who's making the shoes. And we'll take a look also into your partner. So this is really fascinating. That is the rune for separation. Very interesting. So let's think about this. It may be, I guess I'm just going to put it right there. It may be that the two of you are at a distance from each other, or that there's a feeling of separation or an instance of separation, because when you are on your own path and you're doing your work, you have to go alone. In a sense, you can share your journey with another person, but they cannot do your journey. So I think that's what this is talking about. And it's not a negative, so don't get nervous. Let me just read a couple things from the book for you about this, okay? And forgive the echo. I'm in a room that has a very, very high ceiling at a friend's house. They just moved in. There's very little furniture here. So we have the echo. So this is Isa. It's about standstill and withdrawal, and it's signified by the element of ice. It's fascinating that we have water here. Okay, so it's about standstill. It's about the winter of spiritual life. You may find yourself entangled in a situation to whose implications you are in fact blind. You may feel powerless to do anything except to submit and surrender, or to sacrifice some long-cherished desire. It is time to be patient, for this is the period of gestation that precedes a rebirth. There we go. Thank you, Spirit. So just make your shoes. Keep making your plans. Know that your destiny is coming forward into balance and rebirth. Positive accomplishment is not likely in this moment. There may be a freeze on useful activity, and all your plans may be on hold. You may be experiencing an unaccustomed drain on your energy and wonder why. It's because a chill wind is reaching you over the ice floes of old, outmoded habits. Trying to hold on can result in shallowness of feeling, a sense of being out of touch with life. Seek in this time to discover what it is you are holding on to that perpetuates this condition and let go of it. It's time to shed, to release, to cleanse away the old, and doing so will bring on the thaw. Usually, Isa requires a sacrifice of the personal I, and at such a time you cannot hope to rely on help or friendly support, and yet there's no reason for anxiety. It is time to submit and be still, for what you are experiencing is not necessarily the result of your own actions or habits, but rather arises from the conditions about which you could do nothing. What has been full must be empty, and what has increased must decrease. This is the way of heaven and earth, and to surrender to this process is to display courage and wisdom. And yet there is another phase to stand still. Just as winter is a time for going within, drawing Isa can announce a time of restoration and renewal at the deepest level of your being. So in your solitude, exercise caution, and do not stubbornly persist in attempting to work your will. Remain mindful that the seed of the new is present in the shell of the old. The seed of unrealized potential, it is the seed of the good. Trust your process and watch for signs of spring. So clearly, Virgo, you're going through a really deep transformation. That's why this is here. You're just in your workshop making your shoes, and you're contemplating and you're meditating and you're asking for the ability to manifest that which you're attempting to create. I really like it. So there's a lot of hopeful message here about don't worry. You are in a deep phase of transformation, and you are feeling the pressure of Pluto and Saturn coming ever so closer together in Capricorn. So it's a moment in a sense of perhaps some stress, the stress of standstill while you're trying to leap forward. It's a very interesting mix of energies. So we have this rune. This rune, interestingly, is the rune for separation. It's about retreat and sacred inheritance. So again, I think reflecting the fact that whoever you're connecting with, whether it's family, whether it's a job, whether it's a project, or in this case, the sort of the mirroring love relationship is all over this, along with the transformation. So, but it's a time of separating pathways. Old skins must be shed, and outmoded relationships must be discarded. When you receive this rune, a peeling away is called for. It is part of the cycle of initiation. It is Othila, a rune of radical severance. And I guess in a way that makes perfect sense when we see the kind of cards that are here and the notion of cosmic butterfly and someone with the element of water, whether they're a water sign or not, flowing into this kind of cycle. It's intense, isn't it? So the appropriate action is submission, quite possibly retreat, knowing how and when to retreat, and possessing the firmness of will to carry it out. Real property is associated with Othila because it is the rune of acquisition and benefits. However, the benefits you receive, the inheritance, may be derived from something you must give up. This can be particularly demanding when what you are called upon to abandon is some aspect of your behavior, a part of your cultural inheritance perhaps. For then you must look closely at what until now you have probably claimed as your birthright. Whether it is your attachment to your position in society, to the work you do, or even to your beliefs about your own nature, the separation that is called for will free you to become more truly who you are. So Virgs, that's really gorgeous. Take a look at Capricorn. Similar notion coming forward about releasing and coming into your power and your true self and your true inheritance by leaning into your own shift and change. And my guys are talking about this a lot. And you have to go alone, don't you? Even if you have a sacred partner at your side, this process of self-change, you cannot hand it off to any other being. So be the child, let yourself dream a little, keep going, you're doing great, and the universe is looking right at your journey and weaving together the strings of your destiny so that you can continue to create from within you, aligned with this King of Wands. I love it. So there's something that's being created. Go straight into it. You might have to be a little quiet. You might have to submit. You might have a couple challenges, but it's going to be fabulous. The outcome is assured, my guides are saying. So thanks for being here. Click that like button for me. As always, if you know, I always invite people to subscribe and click the bell and all that stuff. The link is below for donations to my channel and to my website. And if you want to come to the Scorpio New Moon Shamanic Healing Retreat in Silver City, New Mexico this weekend, send me an email and I'll get right back to you. All right, thanks everybody.